In this video, I'm going to talk through my full decision making process through a full game of my best game yesterday. In this game, Blue and I were a duo in trios, and we purposely chose to not fill our teammates so that we could drop a bigger game. We ended up getting 25 kills together and almost 8,000 damage between the two of us. I hear a team close to my left and I've got an R99, so I'm good enough to push. But as soon as this guy out damage trades me because of the ping, I decide to back up because I want to get a bit more space and allow myself to clip him if he overextends. His teammate looks like he's getting ultra aggressive, so I just try to put some damage down to hold him off, and Blue does a great job at holding this team back. I see the drill come through and I don't think it's going to hit me initially because that pot plant's quite thick and it was quite a bad angle, but it was just ticking me, so I backed up. I hear someone running up, so I pre-aim the corner and get ready to shoot before they're even ready to pull their gun out, which gives me the upper edge in that 1v1. Alright, let's start talking about the drop decision. My two favorite places to land are Galleria and Draft Point. I've just found over the many hours I've played E-District that a lot of my big games and a lot of my most exciting games start at these places. And funnily enough, even if it's a dry start, it still has a big potential end to a big game because these two POIs are quite central. Now, in terms of which one I choose to land at, it's usually going to be whichever one is closest on the start of the dropship. Let's talk about my shop decision making. Obviously, I'm going to grab a Mozambique, and in terms of the second thing I'm always going to grab, it's going to be a 1x HCOG because that is the most important attachment. You would think it would be the bolt, but it is definitely the 1x. The reason being is the 1x adds about 10 to 15% accuracy of real life accuracy of me in fights. And I've tested this in the range. Whenever I'm in the range and I'm running around with the Mozam with no sight, I know exactly where all these dummies are. They're pretty easy to see, and it only gives me 70% accuracy. When I then go and add a 1x to the mix, it goes to 80% accuracy or thereabouts, giving me a 10 to 15% boost relative to the original value. I can hear way too many people clustering above, so I decide to pull back and give myself some distance. That way we can possibly get up to the height and take these guys on even ground where they're not shooting down on us. I don't overextend, I just peek enough, giving myself the option to go out. You see, even between reloads, I'm ducking down so that the team above can't see me, and I'm just walking slowly up on these guys and progressing piece by piece, almost like a chess move. I can hear their third progressing closer, and I'm being a little bit careful because I don't have shield, but I am trying to do as much damage as I possibly can in between peaks and not taking too much damage from the other team. I'm only dropping here because it's one guy left, and I think that I can either take him on with my health that I have or shield swap. Now, when I look at that box just then, I think I need to start learning to pick up the car over the R99. The R99 is one of my least favorite SMGs at the moment, and it's not because the R99 is necessarily a bad gun, but it's because on 200 ping, the little pellet bullets that it shoots are so small that they really hardly register. If I'm on low ping, if I'm on 1 ping, my R99 rips like crazy. As I'm walking up, I spot another team getting closer. I'm only seeing one at the moment, and I've got cracks, so I'm using the fast reload and fast running speed to progress towards him. You get that every single time you crack someone. And then I can see this guy looking over the railing, so I drill to deter and I try to walk up, giving a vert in their general direction, but they're getting way too much damage on me as I'm walking up. So my plan is to go up the right zip line because that puts me on a slightly elevated position where I can sort of shoot down on them and use all of these bins and things as cover. Then I see my teammate put the low bolt down, so I go straight down to blue to loot, and you'll see my second priority here is a blue bolt and a blue mag because those are the next most valuable things for me. The blue bolt obviously fully kits out the Mozam, and the blue mag obviously makes my R99 as strong as it possibly can be. A blue mag R99 is literally almost as strong as a fully purple R99. There is barely any difference. A blue mag has considerable value to any gun. These guys have completely backed up for absolutely no good reason, so I'm sensing that there's a lack of confidence from this team. Completely ridiculous to run away from two people. So I'm just walking up, getting up close on cover. You see how with the double close range, you see how I'm moving on the low ground where my body and the LOS is fully covered from the other team, that is allowing me to progress right up to these guys without them being able to shoot me with their long range weapons. That's how you need to play it if you're running double close range. It's actually really good to run double close range in general, even just to practice, because it makes your positioning so much better. My positioning and my spatial awareness is literally phenomenal because I literally force myself to have to move up on teams with double close range and not rely on just shooting them with long range and having terrible positioning. Now, we did a lot of damage, so I'm trying to catch them healing before they can get fully back up. I'm being cautious not to overextend because I don't know the positions of all of them, and I leave that guy at one shot because I think blue will be able to finish it up while I go and search the back corner for the other ones. Essentially, I had to make that sacrifice because I didn't want to get sideswiped because I didn't know the locations of the last guys. Now, we're walking up, this guy gets super low, we get the second knock, and I'm completely unsure on where the third one is, if he's still up here or not. I'm watching Blue's movements to see if she has any clue, but I'm pretty sure she's chasing one of those mirage decoys. So what I do is I decide to drop down on the guys that we've already knocked, and I see this guy so obviously crawling back to someone. There's no reason he'd be crawling back that way unless he was purposely baiting me, and I find his teammate in the corner ready to res him. I'm gonna give you a little bit more as to why the R99 is one of the worst SMGs at the moment. The bullets only do 12 damage, the mag size is only 27, the car has a mag size of 30 with damage of 14 per bullet. That's already so much more. The Volt has the paintball attachment, giving it 29 bullets, increased accuracy. The alternator has bigger bullets, and even with its reduced mag size, it's still consistently one clips, and it has the best hip fire in the game out of all of the guns. The Prowler has 35 bullets and is being used by a lot of top preds at the moment. And more than just statistics, I look at the games that are my biggest and I look at what guns I was using, and it's literally consistently the alternator. This R99 game, you'll see that I struggle to get the kills. I don't drop the 20 bomb. I don't get close to a 7k. Even though it's an exceptional game, I can see a lot of situations where if I had a different SMG, this game would have gone a lot smoother, a lot faster. Also, a big shout out to the double P2020s. That's a very, very good pairing to use as well. I'm just exceptionally lazy and cannot be bothered looking for two P2020s or wasting low bar ult on getting two P2020s. I like just getting an alternator. It's simple, it's one thing, and it's one of the most consistent guns in the game. Now, we found another squad that's being a little bit cagey with us. It's funny, it's really funny when you run into these people and it's a 3-stack and they're running away from you. Blue has a really good idea to wrap all the way around the back on them and run along the wall and basically flank them together, because we're not going to be able to cut that distance with them all holding triple long range or mid range and keeping us back. So I follow Blue around the corner, and what we find when we get around the corner is that they've pushed all the way further back into the choke because they are literally terrified of us. Now, this is a little bit annoying, but it's these kind of teams that end up making you have the biggest games, because you end up getting a little bit of extra damage off them before you kill them because they are so scared of dying. Usually what I'll do in a situation like this is I'll try and use my drill to deter them from the edge and force my way closer to them, but I'm just slowly trying to move my way up cover to cover. They get a big crack on me and I'm trying to heal, and as soon as I see that ult, I never need to tuck out of it, and I can hear them fully sending on that. So as soon as I heal up, I pre-aim exactly where I think they're going to come from. I stay tight on the rock. I make sure to not overextend around the corner because I don't want to expose myself to more than one of them at a time, and Blue finishes up the third guy. You also notice the Axel was close enough for me to stay completely in hip fire up close. You need to make sure you're staying in hip fire with your SMGs because they take a massive speed reduction as soon as you ADS. I'm not sure what the current percentage is, but it's somewhere between 25 and 33% strafe speed reduction. I have to double check that at the moment because they've changed it over the years. It used to be a lot smaller, but then they wanted to nerf SMGs so they wouldn't be as strong, so you strafe even slower when you ADS with SMGs. That's another reason why the alternator is my favorite. It has the cleanest, most stable, most reliable hip fire, and I can hip fire one clip absolutely anyone consistently with that gun. We heard some fighting out the back here, so we're just walking up on it, and as I get closer I can hear somebody box resing or something like that just below me, and I'm making sure that they're not on the height we're on, but I'm looking over. I see them clustered on the left, so I drill. I pre-aim aim the flush out, and as soon as I get 2 cracks, I get ultra aggressive balling into the room. I also put a drill on the left wall because most people try to hide in that little left room. I then only peek one of these guys at a time until it's just one left, giving me an instant ability to chow. Now in this case, I was using the R99 to fight these guys as an entry because it was such a close range fight. The closer range the fight is, the more likely I am to use the SMG as the entry. But I think most fights I will enter with the Mosam, especially if it's at a medium to close range. I can hear people running all over my head, so I try to get away and then I run into another team. I don't want to peek for too long because I don't want to take too much damage. I'm sandwiched, so I just put myself somewhere a little bit hidden and I put drill for audio clutter to try and hide myself and hide my scent. But this guy fully sends me. I stay hip fire and close and I drill and I make sure that door does not reopen so they cannot re-push me. I stay super patient, not pushing out too early, and then when blue finally gets across, I go and help her finish off the squad. She doesn't want to get the finish on these 2 guys because she knows they've got a crypto and she doesn't want them to instantly res, and I'm sort of going along with it at the moment because I forgot that we're in pubs. But in that case, we definitely should have just thirsted them and then moved on and let the crypto go and do his thing in res, because at the end of the day, if that crypto just recovers those banners and reses, that's just more people in the lobby for us to damage and kill. This is not ranked. We don't need to secure kills. Even if it was ranked, I think the desperation of trying to finish off teams definitely cucks you a lot more than you think. I know sometimes they come back and they get their revenge and all that, but the majority of the time you end up wasting so much time chasing a team down, trying to get them finished. They'll chase you into another squad. You'll run into teams you shouldn't have run into. You'll position yourself poorly. You'll waste minutes trying to chase them. And it's honestly better in most cases to just move on to another team like I'm doing here. Straight through the choke, straight towards shooting and looking for the next team to fight. Also, it's just a quick plug. I make fuck all money from all of this stuff that I do. So what I'm going to be doing soon is I'm going to be releasing some coasters that I 3D print and design at my own house. I literally make them in my own house. So if the top 1% of you can just look out for that are, interested in helping me out, that'd be super good, because I want to save up to go to America and try playing on super low ping. I think that would be super fun to go there for a whole season and play. I've got the knock on this guy, but I'm not 100% sure where his teammates are, so I'm slowly walking up. I'm drilling that edge because I think they're going to be rezzing on it, but when I look, they're just not there, and some other team starts shooting me out of nowhere. This team is inadvertently protecting the first team from me being able to finish them, and they're also getting a little bit aggressive, so I'm staying very close to this ball, which gives me an option to back out between every single reload, and I flush that guy out with my drill and hit him on the cross. I want to walk close to this team, so you'll see I'm holding the head glitch here, and I'm going to start slowly moving up cover to cover. I'm trying to drill to stop the res. This guy gets an insane beam on me. This guy all the way up the back is actually a freaking beamer. He hit me like a master player would hit me. He hit me pretty good. At this moment, I'm telling blue to slow down because even though we've got knocks, it's going to take me a good 13 seconds to reset here, and I don't want her to get traded out. She's telling me to hurry up. I'm saying I can't pop my medkit any faster, and we're just joking around about it. But as soon as I'm ready, I go in, I take over for her, and we've got some good knocks. She's got 2 knocks, and I try to get them full killed for her. And as I'm doing that, as I secure the 2 knocks, I see a lot of catalyst traps, I see a lot of caustic traps, and I hear this guy start box resing immediately. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you can box res. That's just going to be more kills for me. So again, we've killed 2 and we've run away. It's not always the strategy, but sometimes with teams when you just know they're going to do it, and you know they're going to get the res off, you may as well just let them do it, because again, more kills, more damage if they get res, and if they're getting box res, they're going to have all their loot immediately back again and have all their batteries and stuff like that, so it's a perfect situation. So we go straight over to the other team, and guess what we find? We find that crypto team that we let get away earlier, and all 3 of them are back up. That Axel and Fuse and Crypto that pushed us. I'm trying to wrap far right and behind them. That way there's no one that's going to shoot me in the back or the side, because if I can get all the way behind them, then I can sweep through this team and then sweep through the next. This Crypto tries to pull fast on me and go invisible, but as Crypto, you still make a lot of noise when you're in drone, and you also glitch, so you're still visible. You're not completely invisible. Then I walk over to go and look for his teammates, but as soon as we see that these guys are out of the choke. We don't want them to we don't want to push this, because if we push this here, everyone's going to sort of freak out and die and collapse all at once, which is going to not really be good for big damage. So I back up and I go and I look back for that caustic team, because I'm thinking they should be fully reset and ready for us to refight them. So we got a quick little kill and then we're going over to now. Somehow the caustic team is all the way up on us, and I'm just trying to do a little bit of damage, keep them oppressed a little bit, but it's honestly not looking great, because once they get catalyst and caustic in that little building, it's one of the hardest buildings to push. So I'm not overextending. I'm just trying to do a little bit of damage, break enough doors just to piss them off a little bit. I know they can repatch them, but it just makes it a little bit better. I hear one of them running down to the left and I see it's a catalyst, so I take this opportunity to drop down. This is another example of my R99 did 140 damage, and then the ping made all of my Mozam bullets miss, which got me cracked more than I should have been, and my ball doesn't stun this guy because everything's going wrong, and my ball somehow comes back and only hits me. But I'm calling Blue to come and help me because it's just an absolute mess there, and she absolutely saved the day and clutched it. Now I could have Phoenix kitted here, but I don't know if I'm going to get fully sent because that was quite a big fight. So I popped a battery first, and then I used the Phoenix kit as a med kit second, because I know I do have time. I'm telling her to slow down a little bit because I'm running out of light ammo here, and gosh, this video was really good to rewatch and watch back for me, because this R99 literally almost sold my whole game there. Honestly, at that point I should have just switched out for whatever heavy gun they had there. We're up to the last team now, but the ring is super big, so all I'm trying to do is farm as much damage as I possibly can, but also give them enough breathing room that I can go for this 6k now. And I'm not even kidding, all the way up until this point, I've not asked Blue to stop shooting or anything like that, but I ask this deep into the game when I'm literally on a 5k and I know I could farm like a 6 or a 7k, sorry. And I really try to make sure that Blue is alright with it before I go for it. I didn't realize how big of a game she was on as well. She was on an absolute nuke of a game as well. I really try to not ask it every single game, because I know that can be quite annoying when you're playing with someone and then they tell you to stop shooting the game, stop shooting your guns and stop playing the game normally. I'll only ask like 1 in every 5, 1 in every 10 games, something like that, whenever the game is actually on. This is just an unfortunate time where we were both on a massive game, and I wish I knew how big her game was on, because I definitely would have probably gone for a double 4k or something like that, because she was getting pretty close. It would have been sick. Now I unfortunately start running out of meds at this point, and this guy ends up hitting me about 4 or 5 times with his freaking Kraber, which just absolutely enraged me, and sort of slowed my damage down quite a bit. Their crypto was really good at flying his drone and just being a pest. Next time I'm going to really focus on shooting his drone out, because I think letting that drone go gave these guys way too much information on our position and allowed them to push us a lot better. I should have just backed out at this point and gone to the Loba shop and shop for a med kit, but I was honestly a little bit scared that this Kraber guy was just going to pick me off. I can hear the fuse somewhere below, and I don't want to ego challenge because I do only have 110 health, and even if he's only half as good as me, he'll still have a chance at beating me, and I get absolutely put to one shot. So I try to back it up and pop a bat, but these guys get super aggressive off of that. I was genuinely getting tilted at this point with all the shots that I was getting hit by the Kraber. I think because we killed this team already, they knew who I was and they knew what my stats were, so they were purposely just focusing me, because I don't know how Blue is just standing out there for this entire time and not getting shot a single time by anything. Off this Kraber, they decided to finally push. Now in this case, I really should not have climbed off on them. I should have stayed on the low ground and just pre-aimed and chowed them, but I really wanted to stop their push, so I tried to jump and ball them, and then I tried to shoot them off, but lucky we got Blue Lightning on the case, and she's absolutely fragging this game. She was slamming me in the range as well. She was freaking out today. I don't know what it was, what she ate, but she was ripping it up. Anyways, if you like this kind of long form content where I talk about all my decision makings, make sure you do all of the possible interactions. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, because if you don't do these things, this video won't get the reach it needs to get, and I won't be able to keep making them. So like, subscribe, comment, do all the things.